Good evening. I'm going to present my last speech tonight for my Comms 1000 class, and I have my lovely audience with me. All right. My name is Dennis Handwerker, and I'm going to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart. I've had the benefit of working as a network engineer with my company for over 19 years now, and I have seen certain families struggle with this and other certain families benefit from this. And if you haven't guessed, what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is paternity leave. Paternity leave, I feel, is incredibly important to a new family when they're welcoming a new child into their lives. It is one of the most turbulent and tumultuous times in your lives. I know for myself, I have two children. I have a soon-to-be 6-year-old and a almost 4-year-old. I knew nothing about children, and I benefited greatly from taking the FMLA 12-week paternity leave program. Now, before we dive into paternity leave, there is a slight difference between maternity leave. Maternity leave has been long recognized as the golden standard going back, I believe it started somewhere around in the 1930s. Maternity leave is for the mothers to take off of work, or essentially they were homemakers at the time. The male would go back to work and the mother would stay at home and care for the child and take care of the baby. Now, the big difference here is paternity leave applies to the father majority leave. And it could also apply to mother, father, depending on your family composition, whatever you choose to go with. Now, this, from my own experience, was a huge learning and eye-opening event for me. Like I stated before, was never around children. I didn't know anything about children. And if I didn't have that 12 weeks to learn how to keep a child alive, there might have been a little bit more problems, okay? Luckily, I was fortunate enough to use the FMLA, or the Family Medical and Leave Act, which was enacted by the U.S. Department of Labor. You are allowed up to 12 weeks. Most people get between 6. It depends on your employer and what's available to you. What they found out is having paternity leave and having both parents in the household actually strengthens the bond with the children. What they also found out is it also relieves the mental stress on the mother, having to deal with the new baby on her own and feeding and clothing and taking care of the child. So that is one of the major benefits of having paternity leave. More hands makes less work. So having both parents, it also reinforces that bond with that child and strengthens the trust. That child can depend on the father for feedings, for cleanings, for whatever that child needs. So it fosters the trust at a younger age. One of the other huge benefits of paternity leave is the impact on mental health. The impact on mental health, having both parents around, relieves the stress on the mother as well as on the father. I know for me personally, I had to learn how to be a dad. And like I stated before, I knew nothing about kids. I didn't know how to feed them. I didn't know how to burp them. I didn't know how to swaddle them. I just would try to keep him alive. That was my only goal as a father. And it took me 12 weeks to learn how to do that. But here we are 6 years later, and I've since added another child to that mix. So clearly, it's working out. So let's talk on some data here. According to McKinley and Company, they did a study that found out that fathers were more satisfied after having the 12 weeks of paternity leave. They felt it gave them a better sense of worth and increased bonding with that child since they were around it more and they got to experience the feedings, the sleepless nights, and all the fun stuff. They also did another study by Harvard Business that stated that fathers' mental health actually improved having the paternity leave time to bond with the child. What this also does is fosters and strengthens the bond with the child as well as the family unit. Just having two parents around so the child knows it's taken care of. This also has helped the involvement in child care for the fathers, doing the diaper duty and the feedings and the bathings. So it gives you time to understand and learn that process because, like I stated before, I wasn't privy to any of that. One of the next things we're going to also talk about is the enhanced relationship stability with the children. Studies have been shown, done by Harvard Business, the U.S. Department of Labor, and McKinley and Company on 3 different independent studies. Having 2 parents in the house also improve the general stability and resiliency of the family. That goes along with forming a deeper bond and a deeper connection with the children. You're sharing stress between the parents. The burden's not all on the mother. The father is also there to take some of the load off. So mothers also have been shown to report less postpartum symptoms when the father was around, because they have someone to confide in and they're learning together and working through this process on their own. They're not just staying at home while the husband goes back to work and they're alone through the whole process. So the satisfaction levels have been higher and lower stress on the mothers. So going over that, this is some of the main reasons I support paternity leave and believe that everyone should be entitled to it or have some form or fashion so they can strengthen their family unit, improve the mental health of the family, increase family bond with the child, enhance child development, having access to both parents and availability, and also this fosters and creates a stronger, more resilient family unit overall. This, in my opinion, is overall better for society as a whole if we could strengthen the family unit. I think everyone should have access to paternity leave, whether it be 6 weeks, 12 weeks, or 24. And I believe that's most of my main points that I've got here, and I hope you agree with me that everyone should have access to paternity leave. Thank you.